Oh. Welcome to Meaningful Mornings. On Thursday afternoon, I'd picked up our children and I was turning into our neighborhood. And Vyasa shares with me, he's in the middle seat, Chuka's in the back seat. We are really happy. I never asked him how he is. That conversation was over. He said it himself. And I wanted to know why. Maybe he thought he was going to get some cake at home or I was going to buy him something. So I probed, why did you say that, Vyasa? And his words, because we just wanted to. In his own language, he's trying to share. Why wouldn't they want to be happy? I share this with you because this is the same vision and hopefully feeling of meaningful morning, that you feel that you're really happy. And if I ask you why, it's not because you got a promotion. It's not because today you have less work to do. In Vyasa's words, because we just wanted to. And this is very much in line with Sanatana Dharma, which means infinite nature. Why is your nature infinite? It's your nature. Asking why about nature is illogical. When we were in chapter 16, one of the questions I'd asked you, which verse is the most serious to you? Everyone remembers that? I had mentioned verse 7. In verse 7, there's a point that is made, naviduhu, which means to not know, na nivrittihi, to not know what not to do. It's like someone who doesn't know about chemicals or medicines or cars. Suppose I'm driving a car that takes gasoline and I don't really know about that, so I put diesel instead. It's dangerous on many levels, correct? Suppose I put something more dangerous than diesel. Not knowing what not to do. This places us in hell. We succumb to desire, anger, and greed. When you and I feel that being in hell is not normal, that this is not making me feel really happy, that is when we start looking outside of hell for an exit. When I sit with people who talk too much, that's what I do. I'm looking for an exit. I'll call someone and say, hey, talk to this person, or a door or something like that. This is what we feel. We look for an exit. We ask for help. And if I can share this in the visual that's shared in the Ramayana, to be in a Kala Mandali, that is a web of wickedness, this is dangerous because you don't even know that you're in this web. It is like the tongue living amongst the teeth. But two interesting points about a tongue living amongst teeth. More biologically, your teeth will fall out before your tongue falls out. So the wicked don't last. It's the noble who last. And Pujaswami Tejomayananda shared, a tongue can call a dentist to come remove those teeth. This asking for help, the first exit out of hell, is one's Gurudwara. The trust triangle is the same way, correct? Our first touch point is our guide. Then this propels you to Dhyana Dwara. That's the next entry that is contemplating in our trust triangle. That would be the map. In chapter 16, the word is Shastra. And the third, you get propelled to Haridwara. That is to divinity. In Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna. The last verse of this chapter, Sri Krishna is teaching Prince Arjuna how important the exits out of hell are. Sri Krishna zooms into Shastra, for the Shastra to be pramana, which means authoritative. All of us have a relationship with our map, but there's a high attrition when it comes to the same map being an authority in one's life. We make excuses. The more excuses you make, that is more of the ego that's exerting. Reading some insights from Pujaswami Chinmayananda. The grand road to truth is the same for all. It cannot be determined by each pilgrim according to their whims and fancies. Shastras are declared by those who had traveled the road many a time. And when the rishis supply us with a map of the road to perfection, we, the humble pedestrians, must pursue the path faithfully and come to bless ourselves. Please feel this. All of chapter 17 is an elaboration on this verse. Scriptures, which are the reports left for our earlier guidance by those who successfully walked the path earlier. This is precedent for us. Like there's legal precedent, this is moral precedent, spiritual precedent. The patience to wait till the supreme is realized within themselves. We're so used to sciences, objective sciences that are fast. I get a degree in 4 years. I become a physician in 3 more years after that, and on and on and on. Do you think you'll get enlightened in 4 years? You can. It is up to your sincerity. And on and on and on. Patience. Those who are patient, this map becomes an authority for them. For those who are impatient, this is the map like so many of the books that we have in our libraries. I've personally given you so many of those books. Have you read them? Do you even know which books you have in your library? Om Tat Sat iti Shrimad Bhagavad Gitasu Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishnarjuna Samvade Devasura Sampad Vibhaga Yogo Nama Shodashodhyayaha. Bhagavad Gita's chapter 50. This is 20 verses with the theme of limitlessness. Bhagavad Gita's chapter 16 with the theme of lifestyle. That is the critical word for this chapter. 24 verses on how our lifestyle makes us feel limit or limits. That was chapter 14. Or limitlessness. That is chapter 15. Now we are in chapter 17. 28 verses on the theme of likeness. If you meet someone and you ask, what are you like? That's what this chapter is about. What we are like is based on our shraddha, or faith. The etymology of the word shraddha is shrat dha, which in English means hold on. What you are holding on to is really what you're like. Remarkably, there are 28 verses in this chapter. There are 28 days until Deepavali. Don't be afraid of the solar eclipse. I don't know why mandirs are closed on such days. Look at how magical these connections are. And then chapter 18, the longest chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, 78 verses with the theme of liberation. So be patient for one more chapter, then you will be liberated. Verse 1. Shri Paramatmane Namaha Atha Saptadashodhyayaha Arjuna Uvacha Ye Shastra Vidim Utsrija Yajante Shraddhayanvitaha Tesham Nishtha Tuka Krishna Sattvam Ahorajastamaha. Joy. Finally, we can come back to feeling joy. This chapter is less hard than the previous chapter. Chapter 16 was uphill. This is more lateral in movement. I'm explaining. Ye, which means who. Very much referring to the last verse of chapter 16. Shastra, which means instruction or discipline. The vidhi, what is shared in a scripture, utsrija. They drown this. Utsrija is like the word visarjana. During Ganesha Chaturthi, what do we finally do? We drown is the wrong word. We immerse that icon, especially if it's not made out of styrofoam and plastic. Yes? Yes. Some people do this with the map. They have a map and then they drown it, as in they forget about it. Still, yajante, there is dedication and sacrifice in their life, shraddhayanvita, and they do this filled with faith. So they're dedicated and sacrificing, but not according to the direction of the map, rather of their own faith. Tesham, for them, nishtha, what are they like? Ka Krishna, please share this with me, Krishna. And I like how close Prince Arjuna is feeling to Bhagavan Krishna now. He's not calling him Achyuta, Madhusudana. He's calling him, hey, friend. So personal, because now He feels that closeness, that oneness with Sri Krishna. Such a person, are they like sattvam, that is quietness, rajas, aggressiveness, tamaha, that is laziness. Prince Arjuna is asking a question to help him, to help us make our map authoritative. To not just believe in it, even better is to have faith in it. That's this chapter. Then chapter 18 is about trusting this map. Prince Arjuna does trust, which is why one of his final statements is, Nashta moha. I'm not confused. I will follow you, as in Sri Krishna. What are you? You are Bhagavad Gita. Shraddha means to hold on. And one more reflection on this word that's going to come many times in this chapter. The feeling for us, what this will look like in our day, is follow through. Who you are is what you follow through with. Registering for a course, registering for self-development, and actually following through, those are different. I'm not concerned with how many people are registered for our courses and programs. My concern is how many are reached. And our community works hard and smart to create accountability. That way we follow through. From inspiration to application. Your application was for you to be proud of yajna. Pujaswami Chinmayananda defines yajna in many places as collective endeavor. And that's what we have done for nature, that is animals, plants, and stones. I'm repeating what you've done. You have raised $280,957. Yesterday I said 45 months. It's actually 43 months. Now here's another facet of your yajna. You have raised $352,241 for humans. In the same 43 months, you have done this much for nature, animals, plants, stones, and this much for humans, even more, almost 75,000 more. And we're continuing. Yesterday, we commenced our effort for Elevate Her Story. We have a new offering in our community called Safety of Society. This year, we're focusing on how to make society safe by stopping, slowing gun violence. Next year, our effort will be towards domestic violence. Elevate Her Story right now is to help those who are suffering in domestic violence and child abuse in the greater Cleveland community. Continue to be proud of your yajna. For those who joined the highest vocation this morning, my last guidance was, remember your strengths. It leads you to be successful. Your application for this morning is for the next 28 days. That is until November 12th. That is 4 weeks. I want you to shift your lifestyle to be part of our asana class, which happens from 7:15 to 7:45. It doesn't matter how old you are, which gender you are, your camera on, your camera off, etc. But lifestyle, chapter 16 was about lifestyle. So change your lifestyle to bring more balance to your body and soul. Shanti, 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 be joy.